Hello everyone, Fausto Carnevale from Italy. Today promised in the last video about tax declaration in Italy for physical person. Just a quick reminder, I shared the video about the model or the form 730 or 730. And I promised you back in last month that I was going to record also a quick introduction of the Modello Persone Fisiche 2022. So this is a quick guide to understand how to read your Modello delle Persone Fisiche, which actually is the form in which you can make your tax declaration in Italy for a fiscal year. So, for instance, this one that I have here directly from the Agenzia delle Entrate refers to the 2021 period. And as you know, in Italy, you have to do the declaration in the year after. Here, we have to, first of all, declare our fiscal code, declare which type of declaration we are doing. You may already have seen some videos about the Quadro RW, but for the most part here today, we are going to see basically try to understand just a little bit. Of course, I can't do an hour video, but just to understand what are those information here. So first things, dati del contribuente is where you are basically commune where you were born, which can be in Italy or abroad. In your case, I'm sure it's abroad. Your fiscal residence. So those are your, let's say, information about where you live. Here, for instance, this is impegna la dichiarazione telematica. This means if you want someone to send it for you, which, for instance, if you decide to do this declaration via an accountant, I was saying it is advised to have an accountant to complete this for you at the beginning. And here you have the fiscal code of the accountant. I'm just going the main forms of today. So, familiare a carico basically mean if you are paying the taxes for some member of your family. For instance, if you have a child, you know you can deduct some costs and you can have a lot of tax advantages in Italy. Quadro A, which means box A, this is you put the cadastral revenue of land. Because you know, in Italy, if you have a house, if you have lands, and even if you don't rent it, if you don't put those assets, let's say in renting, you have a fiscal revenue to determine, to let's say declare in your declaration. For instance, my mom, she has a house. She has another, like let's say, office in the same house. Regarding the Quadro RB, so now in Italy with the earthquake, and this is very important if you're buying a house in Italy, because if the house is not available to you, for instance, because of the earthquake, you don't pay any IMU. But here, the important thing is that you have to declare the revenue of your house. Of course, you have to calculate it with your accountant. It's not, as I always say, it's not a thing that we can discuss in 1 minute here, but just for you to understand. Quadro RC, here we put the revenues as employees. In Italy, we have this distinction, determinato, indeterminato. So basically, is if you have a contract with no limit, or if you have a contract, an employment contract with some limit, for instance, 1 year contract. Here, Quadro CR, which for now on you understand Quadro mean box. If you have some credit for different things, for instance, for the first house that you buy in Italy, because what happened is the year that you do this declaration, which is, as you see, is a little bit complex, you have to declare step by step also the other things, the other credit that you have. Quadro RP is onere spese because, as I said, you can deduct or you can put in deduction or detraction some expenses. For instance, hospitality expenses. If you buy a vehicle for a handicapped person, so for instance, a family member with handicap, you have a higher percentage of deduction. And as you see here, you have a lot of other things that you can deduct. and detract. At the end, we have to quadro so the full revenue minus all the deduction that you put here and detraction, minus some credits. At the end, you have the accounti. So if you paid already in advance something, to make it easy, here you declare how much you have to pay. So as I was saying, the only difference is that here you have a more complete declaration. But the thing that I wanted to say, because a lot of people then didn't understand well, is that if you are only an employee, in meaning if you are in Italy and you have only revenues from unemployment, in this case, you have the model 730, which is very straightforward. Normally, your company send it, or let's say companies simplify the process for the employee. But please be remembered, if you are a person with other revenues, you have to complete this format. At the end of the structure, you put your physical code, and you can decide to assign or to give some money to charity. I already did a video, and this is maybe for you very helpful, about the crypto taxation in Italy. So, what you can do in order to understand better your situation in Italy, even if you have already an accountant, but you just want to see what he did for you, when the accountant sent your declaration at the end, you will have this. Last day I was having a look to my mom declaration. You can basically print this model so you can see what the accountant sent. So sometimes people also text us, "Hi Fausto, can you please help us to read our declaration?" Of course, we do more particular things. We do consultancy basically, but I see that a lot of people, maybe they found an accountant, maybe the accountant sent it to the tax authorities, but then they don't ask a copy. They don't know what actually, why they are paying such amount of taxes, or they are not paying maybe, but they don't know maybe why they have a credit or not. So that's why it's very important to understand and to try to make a link. If you already watched crypto video that I did about the crypto declaration in Italy, try to make a link between the crypto, this model, and what you have submitted for, even if it's not for 2021, go back to 2020. The important thing is that you know at least the number that your accountant sent to the tax office. So until next time, guys, here is Fausto Carnevale, Italian accountant and the international consultant. If you found this video interesting, I would invite you to subscribe to the channel. And please, if you need a consultancy, if you have some doubts, you can contact us in the email below in the descriptions, in the description of the video, and you can contact us for consultancy. Also, if you don't know, we do consultancy, but if you have another problem, if you want to move in Italy, if you want to know different topics, we can support you as well. The important is that you send us an email and we will try to find the best solution for you. See you next time. Enjoy your staying in Italy.